Hi guys. I'm actually getting a lot of subscribers sending me documents and information and wanting me to post videos on it. I'm not in a position to give these documents the kind of consideration they need. I'm not in a position to do the kind of research that I'd like to. I like to, even if it's, a military document, I still like to just try to verify all information that I receive. And that takes time. And I don't have it. I don't think we have it. I want to preface this by saying what I am going to report in this video is nothing that I've been able to verify. I'm going on really very little, but it was passed along to me. The person who passed it along to me said that she believed that it was credible, that the author was credible, and I'm passing it along because of all of the articles and all of the research that I have done over the years. Nothing would surprise me. Something definitely is going on, and there's no, we know that there are underground cities. We know that there's an underground city in the Denver airport. I watched a video a couple of days ago, and someone was asking, how could they possibly make these underground cities without anybody knowing? And if they're really huge, vast underground cities, people would know that something's going on. They'd hear explosions, they'd hear all these different things, but and the answer was, in order to do it, you would have to build something up above so that people would be confused about or not hear what's going on underneath. They would just assume that it's what's taking place above. The Denver airport that was built not too long ago with the underground, structure, a lot of the residents, a lot of the people who lived in Denver did not want the airport. There was a lot of controversy about that airport because there was no need for it, and they saw it as a waste of money. So they built this additional airport as they were also creating their underground facility. So I am not presenting this as fact, okay? It's very hard to verify anything today because we are flooded in lies. Flooded. And frankly, I started thinking about a year ago, all of the documents that, as an attorney, documentary evidence is really important. And when you find those documents, you're like, yes, because they could make or break a case. And it was only within the last year that I started thinking, even the documents that I'm finding, I question now. Because it's very easy to just put out documents and say they're official to fool somebody and not put out other documents that are really the real truth. I'm also very tired. And this is important stuff. And it needs to be taken seriously, and it needs to be thought about carefully, and I'm not in a great position to do that, but I don't have the health anymore. I mean, I'm on my own personal overwhelm and overload. The stress is affecting my brain, and I'm I'm so exhausted. So I apologize to everybody who's sending me documents. I will look at all of them, and those that I feel that are really important, I will post a video asking people to try to get this document to other people that can give it the consideration, that are in a position to give it, the time that it needs to post a video and alert people. But this is just an article, Elite in Hiding. It was posted on the 13th of this year. Ex-feds and Wall Street ex-executives are going into hiding. It was written by Dave Hodges from CommonSenseHow.com. He's a talk show host. He was approached by individuals who claim to have inside information about what is coming, and according to these individuals, what is coming is very bad. He found that a lot of the sources were credible, but they demand complete anonymity for good reason. They would be killed. So Dave also had to try and evaluate whether or not he was going to be broadcasting this information, because a lot of the information is very controversial, and but he decided to go ahead because a lot of the inside information that he was getting was stunningly accurate. Okay, so I'm going to summarize this as best I can, and I will link below to the article. But Jim Marrs discussed how approximately 400 to 500 top-level bankers have left their positions and have gone into seclusion since December 9, 2012. The elite have developed seed vaults, which only they have access to. Clearly there are some very bad events coming, and the global elite are aware of it, and they're moving into their retreats, into their places of hiding. There have been lots of retirements from the CIA, Homeland Security, the National Security Agency, and FEMA. That's a fact that's indisputable. Ex-Fed officials and their families have relocated to safety enclaves. Even when doing so was very disruptive to their respective family lives. So some major event is coming. So, the massive retirements from the alphabet soup agencies. There's a retirement en masse, which is not so unusual, but considering the Wall Street, the bankers also retiring and going into hiding at the same time is cause for alarm. The areas in which they're relocating their strategic locations under the Denver airport, in Colorado, and the Department of Homeland Security had the exercise in September 2011 when suddenly everybody was disappearing and heading for Denver, and the Denver airport was closed, and it was called Operation Mountain Guardian. The Denver airport was shut down to commercial air travel except for specific undesignated planes which were allowed to land in preparation for some staged catastrophe. That was reported in mainstream news. The CIA has also relocated its major data collection facilities underneath the Denver airport. And that, the author says, that the implications for residents living in or near the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area should be clear. If you can move out of that area, if you're in it, move away from Washington, D.C. There apparently is a planned obsolescence for the nation's capital, and that is becoming increasingly apparent. Parallel to Colorado is being prepared the new capital. There are a lot of retired officials from the Department of Homeland Security and the CIA who are not part of the privileged elite, but who are developing their own enclaves in the Rocky Mountains outside of Denver, and Colorado. When I get really tired, my New York accent comes back. So they're developing their own enclaves outside of Denver and Colorado Springs. They're the poor man's imitation of the Denver International Airport facilities. The structures are largely natural, but are very well equipped, and the resources include a self-contained air supply. The source for that information was a former Homeland Security insider. And the same insider revealed that in mid-2008, there was a rift between the old guard of the New World Order and the up-and-coming new wealth of the same group. The new wealth, for these people, they stole it. That's why we have billions and billions and billions of money going into Goldman Sachs and going into these banks, and we never saw a penny. They didn't give it to us. They kept it. They stole it. That's what Obama was doing. That was... It's so incredible. And really heartbreaking. So a lot of the money to create all of these enclaves and to begin to accelerate their plan was the money they stole from us. A retired official from the, or retired officials from the NSA have relocated to an area in the Ozarks, which I had just driven through, in Arkansas and Missouri, and there's an underground safety zone. There's another whole, these mini villages in the Ozark Mountains. They're self-sustainable. Their properties consist typically of 5 to 10 acres for each family. They contain portable water supplies, and residents are armed to the teeth. His decision to participate in this relocation, or the source of that information, he decided to participate in the relocation because of the re-election of President Obama, which he said will hasten the onslaught of what is to come because Obama's administration fully embraces the destruction of America. Recently retired officials from FEMA are relocating to mountainous areas in North Carolina, approximately 1 hour from the coast. Their enclaves contain the same resources involving air, water, food, and guns. These enclaves include underground structures which are sensibly self-contained and can serve to isolate the inhabitants from the outside. He has 2 sources of this information, which includes a family member and a retired FEMA official who has chosen not to participate in this relocation. The non-participant ex-official from FEMA did not seek sanctuary with these groups because he feels that several of these enclaves will be targeted for destruction by the powers that be. Because the knowledge contained by the inhabitants in these, the poor man structures, those who know what's going on, building their protective enclaves, but are not a part of the elite. The elite feel that they have to be destroyed because dead men tell no lies or tell no tales. And according to this author, it makes sense because it would allow, excuse me, it would allow the elite to rewrite history in their own version without any contradiction from knowledgeable individuals that know what's really going on. You have to kill the threats. It's the truth. I know it personally. Alright, I'm going to link below to this article. I apologize for the length of these articles and for not being able to present the information as I would like, but I feel the information has to get out there as quickly as possible, and this is the best I can do for now. I don't have my editing programs or anything on the laptop. Thank you for watching, and please get this information out. Thanks.